Om Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and from mortality to the immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we were discussing one of the basic texts of the non-dualistic philosophy, that is Advaita Vedanta. And what is this basic text? It is called Aparokshanubhuti. Means the literal meaning of this Sanskrit word is the immediate realization of the self. When can I realize who am I, what I am? Some philosophies say, oh, after death, you can be immortal by attaining heaven or by going to heaven. On the judgment day, will be decided whether you'll go to heaven or hell. And some say, at the time of death, you may get realization. But the Vedanta philosophy, the non-dualistic philosophy, is the only philosophy which says that at this juncture, at this point of time, at this given point of time, by living in this human body and living in this world, phenomenal world, you can realize your real nature. I can know who am I, and also I can continue to exist, or I can continue to live, and I continue to do my work or profession, whatever I was doing. That is the beauty of this Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy. If I am a businessman, can I study Vedanta? Yes, of course. Can I practice Vedanta? Yes, of course. So can I realize who am I, or what is my real nature? Yes. So after knowing, can I continue my work? Yes, you can continue your work. So at this juncture, if I wish so, I would like to realize, I can realize. They say just like a fruit is on my hand. So similarly, the self-realization is in your hand, only you have to understand. That is the beauty of this philosophy. Now, the question came, this is a philosophical question. Generally, for people, we may not have this question. A person who has studied philosophy in depth, for such person, this question may come. What is that question? Now, say a person who has got self-realization, for him, the prarabdha karma exists or not. That is, the fruits of actions which had performed in the previous life, but have withdrawn for this present life. So whether it exists or it ceases to exist, that is the one philosophical question which was in the disciples' mind. So keeping that in the mind, the Adi Shankaracharya, the philosopher, starts explaining, look, from Gnani point of view, from the realized person's point of view, there is no Agami karma, Prarabdha karma, and Sanchita karma. And what are these three things I have told in my previous class? So Agami karma and Sanchita karma, which is stored in my bank account and which I am going to accumulate, both are nullified and both doesn't exist for a realized person. Fine. Now I have withdrawn 2,000 euros. 2,000 euros is in my pocket. Now what will happen for that? That is the question. That is what Prarabdha karma related to. And we have seen in the earlier class, according to, from Gnani point of view, here Gnani means the knower of truth, the knower of the ultimate truth, means the knower of his real nature, who is he or who is she. For such person, or from such person's point of view, even the prarabdha karma doesn't exist. But from the ignorant person's point of view, it exists. So this is the whole essence of these arguments. So from different angles, from at a different levels, the author is trying to explain this philosophical idea. Upadanam prapanchasya mrudbhandasyeva katyate agnanam chaiva vedantaihi tasmin nishte kva vishvata. The Vedantic text declare that ignorance to be verily the material cause of the phenomenal world, just as earth is of a jar. Earth is the material cause for a jar. So that ignorance, if it is destroyed, then where can the universe exist? So for any product to happen, you need a material cause and you need an efficient cause. Material cause is what? From that which material you prepare the thing, you prepare a product. Who is the efficient cause? The person who manufactures. Who is the cause? Who is the reason for preparation? Say for an example, pot, you say, clay pot. Now, what is the efficient cause for the clay pot? The potter. The potter is the efficient cause. By his help, he creates a pot. Now, what is the material? What is the material cause for this pot called product? If you ask every one of us, we know that the material is what? It is clay. And now there are secondary causes. There can be so many, like a wheel and stick and water. So many things can be there. But two main causes. One is material cause, the other is efficient cause. So the material cause is clay and the efficient cause is potter for the clay pot. Now, similarly, if you see, or if you ask, if you take the world, this phenomenal world is the product. Who is the efficient cause and who is the material cause? So according to the non-dualistic philosophy, the Lord or the Brahman is called Ishvara. He is the efficient cause. Fine. So Lord is the creator, is the sustainer, is the dissolver. We all know that. Fine. Then what is the material cause from which he has made all these things? If you ask, the Christian religion says, oh, God created out of nothing, he says. The Christian theology, it says, but present science doesn't accept it. It is against rationality, it is against logic, they say. Now, what about then Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy? They say, even the material cause and efficient cause, both are Brahman. Or rather, the Brahman is the efficient cause and Maya, the ignorance, is the material cause of the universe, according to the non-dualistic philosophy. Means at individual level, because of my ignorance, I am misperceiving the consciousness as the matter. That is the reason ignorance is the material cause, according to the non-dualistic philosophy. Their conscious and consciousness alone exists, but because of ignorance, because of delusion, I am misperceiving. I am wrongly perceiving the consciousness to be the matter. That's what they are saying in this present shloka. Now, how to understand? Again, if you see, there's a beautiful pot, clay pot. And you saw, and if you ask to describe, if he's who has got a good language capability, and if he's a poet, he explains you look such a beautiful pot. It is so nice in shape, and it is so attractive. And if you keep the water in that, it is very cool. And the paint which has been put on the clay pot, it is so wonderful, with a blue color, light blue color with a white mixed, and a red and maroon flower, so nice, beautiful. Okay, so by hearing that description, probably we'll be bothered, or we'll get tempted to purchase that clay pot. And we may purchase and we may bring and keep in our house. So as soon as we see, every time we are seeing that it is a clay pot, it's a pot. Now I say, yes, it is a pot, no doubt. It has got particular shape or particular form. It has got some definite functional aspects, utility. And the name is called pot, and it has got a form also. Fine. Now, I ask you to see what it is. Oh, it is a clay pot, Swamiji, or it is a pot, or it is a clay pot. If I ask you, that's fine. Why can't you think a little deeply on about it? Oh, it is a clay pot. So pot is made from the clay. You are there. So it is a clay. The clay has been put in a particular form. That's why it is called, in particular form, it has got a particular shape, and the particular, according to the shape and functional aspect, it has been named as a pot. Now, till now, we were thinking that pot is real. Now, if I start asking, you remove that clay from the pot, what exists? Then everyone will say that nothing exists. Then the pot ceases to exist. Why? In the pot, the clay is the substratum. The moment you remove the clay, then the pot ceases to exist. Means the existenceness of the pot is borrowed from the clay. The pot doesn't have its own existence. The existence of the pot is claimed from, or it is borrowed from the clay. How? Because the moment you remove the clay, the pot ceases to exist. Isn't it? That means what? The clay is there only. The clay has been put in a particular form, so you are calling as a pot, that's all. So name and form are illusory, but actually the clay is the substratum. It is the basic substance that is real. Now, earlier you were seeing it as a part. Now you started saying that, okay, the clay is the real thing. It has been put in a particular form. Similarly, with the golden things we have said, like golden bangles, golden necklace, or golden earrings. You remove the gold, immediately the golden ring, golden necklace, golden earrings, everything ceases to exist. So the existenceness is borrowed from the clay. The pot has borrowed the existence from the clay. That means what? The clay is real and the pot is an appearance. So this is what Advaita is going to tell. It is trying to tell for us. We have to understand. So by studying Advaita Vedanta, what do you understand? The world doesn't change, but the way you see the world, the way you perceive the world, it changes. There will be a shift in vision. There will be a shift in thinking. There will be a shift in your perception. So similarly, when we say this is a phenomenal world, we are living, we are experiencing happiness or unhappiness or whatever it may be. We are experiencing, we are feeling, it is so perceptible, no doubt. But the existenceness of the world, or for the world, is from where, if you ask, it is from the consciousness, not from the matter. The so-called world, it is matter. It looks like the matter has borrowed the existence from the consciousness. So that's why we say consciousness alone is real and the matter is an appearance, or it is because of illusion we are seeing it. And one more standard example of Advaita Vedanta is rope and snake. Rope is real, rope is substratum, and the snake is an appearance. So now Vedanta is telling in this particular sloka, the author is trying to tell, look, because of ignorance, you are misperceiving the consciousness to be the matter. Once the ignorance is destroyed, then you'll be able to see only consciousness, and the matter is destroyed. Means the reality of the matter has been destroyed. If so, the world has been negated. If the world is negated, then your existence of the body, all these things are negated. When your body is negated, when your world is negated, then there is no birth and death for you. Then where is the question of prarabdha karma for you? So that is the logic behind this. Means the world is superimposed on Brahman, or Brahman is appearing as the world. Just like the clay is appearing as the pot, the water is appearing as the waves, the Brahman is appearing as the world. Once the world is negated, Brahman alone exists, then there is no question of the Punarjanma or next Janma. So from three angles till now, the author is trying to tell. Jnani has negated the body and consciousness alone exists. So when there is no body for Jnani, he feels that his consciousness is the self, there is no birth and death for him. It is only it is only illusion. If there is no body, if there is no birth and death, then where is the question of prarabdha karma? Means purva janma abhavat or janma abhavat prarabdha karma nasti. That's what we can tell in Sanskrit. And the third angle is ignorance is the root cause for all these things. In a gnani, the ignorance has been removed, it has been destroyed, he has negated that, then he is able to see the consciousness and consciousness alone. Even from this point of view, there is no prarabdha karma. That means what? He is free person. So in the next sloka also, by using the help of my example of rope and snake, the similar idea is being told. So that is the reason I will not discuss repeat the same idea. I will go to the next sloka, that is 97th shloka. Dehasyapi prapanchatvat prarabdhavastitah kutah agnani janashodhartam prarabdham bhakti vaishruti. So he's taking the example, or he's taking the support of scriptures now, author. Now, logically, rationally, from different angles or from three aspects, the author tried to tell for Gnani, there is no prarabdha karma. He's basically a free person. So even after realization, whether I'm bound by this law of action, by law of cause and effect, if you say body and mind may be, but as a Gnani, as a consciousness, no, it is not. That's what. So he can be the free person. That's what the beauty of this argument is. Now, after explaining logic, the author is trying to explain the same idea with the help of scriptures. According to the Indian philosophy, if I have to establish any truth, he has to prove at three levels. What is that? One is from scriptures. Your idea has been supported by scriptures. If it is so, then it is acceptable. Then it is not only mere scriptures say that, then it should be rational also. Or scriptures are saying, but it is illogical. If it is irrational, then it cannot be accepted. Even though scripture says, if it is irrational and it is illogical, then it cannot be accepted. This is the second thing. The third is, scripture says that, logically it is true that, but my experience contradicts it. My experience doesn't support if you say, then also you cannot accept it as a truth. If any philosophy, if any idea has to be accepted as a truth, it is a right, then it has to fulfill these three criteria. One is scriptural validity, the second is logical validity, the third is experience, validity of experience. Now, the author is trying to explain from now logic is over from the second point, that is from the scriptural standpoint of view also, my argument is right. That's what he's telling from the 97th shloka. The body also, being within the phenomenal world, how could prarabdha can exist? It is therefore for the understanding of the ignorant alone that the scriptures speak of prarabdha. Means, once the ignorance is destroyed, when the ignorance is removed, then the gnani doesn't have any more delusion. Just like you bring the light, you shouted that there is a snake, and you had a fear, you had a sweating, and if they make ECG test, then your ECG may be abnormal, your heartbeat had increased, your pulse rate had been increased, all these reactions was there. But suddenly, one of your friend or family member brought a light, torchlight, and he put in the, and he used the torch with the help of torchlight. He was able to see, and he was able to make us understand that there is a rope, not the snake. The moment I understand that it is a rope and not the snake, then from that particular object, there will be no more fear for me. Oh, there is a snake, that delusion has been removed. So fear has been removed. My BP or my pulse rate, everything comes down, and I'll become a normal person, isn't it? So similarly, when the ignorance has been destroyed in the gnani, and he is conscious of his consciousness, he has experienced that I am consciousness, or I am the existence, consciousness, bliss absolute, that is Sat Chit Ananda, then where is the question of delusion in him? Where is the question of illusion in him? When there is no delusion, there is no more birth and death, and he will have definitely understanding that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the self. When these things are clear in him, then where is the question of prarabdha karma exists for him? It is not possible. And this idea has been supported by scriptures also. That is what the author is trying to tell here. And also, even the underlining argument is, what is the karma? The effect of karma does. If I have got a good karma, good actions is there, good actions results are there, then it is pleasurable. I'll feel happiness and everything will be good, happy, blissful, etc., etc. If in my store, if I got the fruits of bad actions, that means I may have to suffer, I am to face adverse circumstances, I may have to incur pain. So this pleasure and pain are because of the good action and bad actions. Now, when I feel that I'm consciousness, when I don't feel that I'm the body and the mind, and this pleasure and pain, hot and cold, good and bad, right and wrong, all these dualities belong to the body and mind level, then when I feel that I'm self, it doesn't taunt me, or it doesn't bind me, it doesn't disturb me, or I'm not perturbed by all these things, then means the karmas and its effects have not any effect. I mean, its effect will not have any effect on the Gnani, because he is the knower of Brahman, is the knower of the truth. Then how can you say that for such a realized person, the prarabdha karma exists? That is what, from the transcendental reality point of view, from the paramarthika drushti, there is no prarabdha karma, but from a vyavaharika drushti, or from the ignorant person's point of view, for a gnani, there is a prarabdha karma. So, I mean, these are the three stages the Advaita teaches the truth. We have to understand. First, they said, yes, there is water and there is wave. So, water and wave, both are there, both are different. Then they said, water, the second step, they told us, water is appearing as wave or waves. Water is appearing as waves. Then the third said, if you look, what alone exists, there is nothing else. So these are the three steps where they try to explain the truth. Now water alone exists. That was the final truth. In the 98th thing, he takes the example of the scriptures and he explains still more in a deeper manner. Kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drushte paravare bahutvam tannishedhartam shrutya gitam cha yatsputam. Sometimes when you are hearing these arguments, you may feel, Swamiji, realizing oneself is important for me. Why should I get into all these problems? What is the use of it? Why should I get into these philosophical debates or philosophical discussions? I want to be a free person, that's enough. Yes, many of us, we may think like that, but there can be some people who think, okay, after my realization, or after realizing the truth, what will happen to me? Will I exist or will I cease to exist? The knower of Brahman, whether he exists, he can continue his life till death, or immediately he has to leave his body or mortal coil. So such type of questions, such type of inquisitiveness can be there in the seekers. So to quench the thirst, intellectual thirst or intellectual hunger or inquisitiveness of the spiritual seekers, intellectual seekers, so this ideas has been discussed. Because the scripture has been written for a different type of people. It is not only for me or for you, it is for everyone. So people, according to their nature, they can think and they can have their questions. So all their questions should be answered. So keeping that in the mind, author writes the book. That's the reason this is a philosophical question. The running meaning of this present verse is, all the actions of a man perish when he realizes that Atman, which is both the higher and the lower. Here is clear use of the plurality by the Shruti is to negate prarabdha as well. So here the author is trying to take the scriptural statement and grammar point. Generally, if you see English grammar in most of the vernacular languages, even in India or in other parts of the globe, we have got two types of sentence. One is singular, the other is plural, isn't it? But in Sanskrit, there are three types. One is singular, second is dual, the third is plural. Singular is one, dual means dvivachana, we say. Dual means two, plural means three and more. Now here, you use the word karmani. So karmani is the plural form of the karma. the word karma, action, it is the plural form of the word karma is karmani. So the singular form of the karma is karma, the dual is karmani, dual form of that word, and the plural form of the word is karmani. So here in the scriptures, they have used the word karmani, that is means what? Plural. Plural means what? 3 and more. So in the Mundaka Upanishad, it is one of the Upanishad, beautiful Upanishad, which they discusses about the ultimate reality, who am I? There they say, vidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drushte paravare. When he, the knower of that Brahman or the realized person, who understands, who experiences the lower self and the higher self, then the knot of the heart is untied, all doubts are dispersed, and all his karmas are consumed. So here the word is karmani, means it is used plural form. All karma means what? Agami karma, prarabdha karma, sanchita karma. All types of karmas and its effects are nullified. It has been destroyed. And it has told been by Upanishads, that is, which are the part of the Vedas, which are the primary scriptures of the Hinduism or the Sanatana Dharma or Indian philosophy. So now the author is using this Mundaka Upanishad statement and said, look, from logical point of view, I've explained my idea. Even from scriptural point of view, if you see, even from the scriptural point of view, that is told that prarabdha karma does not exist for the realized person. That means what? He is completely free. And also if you study the 6 systems of Indian philosophy, you will understand. There is a particular philosophy called Purva Mimamsa. They say, till your death, you should keep on working. You should keep on performing actions. You should keep on performing sacrifices. There is no option for you. There is no choice. It is a rule. When there is a rule, when there is an order, you are supposed to follow. If there's a choice, you can choose it. So that is the Purva Mimamsa. So indirectly, the author is trying to, cut them or nullify them or say them, okay, what is your philosophy is not true. My philosophy is true. That means what? Once I am the knower of Brahman, once I have realized the truth, then I don't have any rights. I don't have any duties to perform. I am completely free. If I wish so, I may perform any actions, but I am not bound. I am completely free from all the rights. I am free from all the duties. I am free from all the obligations. I am free from all the rules and regulations. That's what the underlying philosophical argument or truth from this particular sloka. And also similar idea has been given in Bhagavad Gita, the lesser celestial song sung by Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna. Yathai dansa samiddognihi bhasmasat kurute arjuna jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tata. Here also, sarva karmani, all actions, as a kindled fire reduces the wood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions from material activities. Means all the fruits of actions are destroyed. This also has been confirmed by Gitacharya, Lord Krishna. So from the scriptural point of view also, the prarabdha karma does not exist for the realized soul. That means what? He is completely free person. He is not bound at all by any way. Now, that means what? So now if you ask, why should I seek self-realization? Means the goal of self-realization is what? To be a free person. I may have riches. I may be an accomplished person. I may be a very famous person in this mundane world, but I am bound. I am bound by mind. I am bound by emotions. I am bound by thoughts. I am bound by senses. All these things. I may have so many external paraphernalias, but at the same time, bound person. If you are to be a free person, if you are to be eternally free, completely free, then what should you do? Oh, if I become the president of Ireland, can I be free? No. Okay, I will become millionaire. Can I become free? No. Then I will achieve so many things. I will get a lot of gold medals by studying 10 PhDs. Will I become free? No. Then, okay, I will be a good singer. or I can be a good athlete, I can be a good business person, or I can be a good bureaucrat. Can I be free? No. Then how can I be free? The Vedanta says, by knowing yourself, who am I? So what will happen then? When the moment I know who am I, the moment you understand who am I, what will happen? You'll be completely free from this law of causation, that is theory of cause and effect. If I sow the paddy, then you'll get rice. If you sow the lentils, then you will get lentils. So similarly, the cause and effect we know very clearly because of global warming, Antarctica and Arctica, snow and all is, getting dissolving, and the rise of sea is being increased. All this we know. So there's a cause and effect in this world. The whole world is theory of causation, but whereas the self is beyond all these things, I will be completely free person. And that is not the state of negation. That is not the state of emptiness. That is not the state of nothing. It is a state of positivity. It is a state of ananda, that is bliss. So that's the beauty of difference between Buddhism and the Vedanta. Buddhism says it is a void, and the Vedanta says it is with full of bliss. It is with full of bliss. This is what the difference between Buddhism and the Vedanta, that is Shunyavada and Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. Now, the question may come, this is from whose angle? From the Paramarthika point of view, from the transcendental reality point of view, or from the Gnani's point of view, there is no prarabdha karma, but from the ignorant person's point of view, there is a prarabdha karma. That has been cleared in the 98th verse. In the 99th verse, from the ignorant point of view, what is the question? You may get it. I would like to answer in the 99th verse. The author is trying to tell from the ignorant person's point of view, what will be the case? Uchyate agnair balat cha etad anartadvayagamaha vedanta matahanam cha yato gnanam iti shrutihi. Means, if the ignorant still arbitrarily maintains this, they will not only involve themselves into two absurdities, but will also see the risk of foregoing the Vedantic conclusions. So one should accept those realities which is from scriptures and which proceeds the knowledge. Again, this is very subtle and very technical point. Technical point means from the point of philosophy. So what are these arbitraries? Means they saying that when the scripture is telling, when they experience, the people who have experienced, they are telling, and when the logic is telling, it is better you have to accept. Because you have not experienced it, you cannot say that you don't know or it is not true. The scriptures are what? The scriptures are the recordings of the revelations the sages, the saints had. So it is based on the experience, and it is based on the logic, and it is based on the scriptures. That is the reason you are supposed to accept. If you don't accept, what will happen? You may lead into fallacy. The fallacy, because of wrong perception, because of error, then you may have to suffer, you may have to unnecessary struggle in the life. So it is best, or it is better to accept this truth. Why? Because scriptures are supporting it, logic is supporting it, and the experiencer. Who is the experiencer? The experience of the truth, the experiencer of the self, the person who has got self-experience. Even he has also stated, he has also confirmed this, he doesn't have prarabdha karma from his point of view. So from these three yardstick, or from these three angles also that has been confirmed. So even if some fool or some ignorant says that, no, I don't accept it because I don't feel. If you say that, then you are the loser, or you may miss many other things. That is what the author is trying to tell. So here, the role of guru comes into the picture. The role of traditions comes into the picture. The role of right thinking comes into the picture. When we study scriptures, we need a right teacher. If you have got a right teacher, then you can understand things better, you can understand things properly, you can understand things as it is. How? I will give an example for it. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka called Uddhared atmanatmanam, atmanam avasadayet, atmaiva hatmano bandhu, atmaiva ripuratmana. So many times they are using the word atma, 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 atma. Oh, what is the word atma? Atma means self. The second line of this sloka, if the running meaning, if you say, the self is the real friend for the self, and the self is the real friend of the self, real enemy of the self. What is this? It is like tautology, or it is some mad people have written. The self is the friend of the self, and the self is the enemy of the self. Means what does it mean? Means here one self is, if one, the word self is mentioning indirectly that as a mind, the other self is mentioning that as an individual self or embodied self, or it is called Jivatma. Means one who has got control over his mind, so his mind will be the friend of the self or friend of oneself. Whose mind is not under his control, he will be the real enemy for himself. So this is the real meaning which is hidden in that particular sloka. If you go by literal translation, you will not understand anything. Oh, the self is the friend of oneself and the self is the real enemy of oneself. Oh, what does it mean? It is like poetic, it is allegory, or it is someone's, the people who doesn't have basic common sense or who has got, they don't have proper understanding, they have written such a nonsense, we may feel. But when you study properly with the help of a teacher, then you'll be able to understand the real purport of the sloka. The purport of that sloka is what? One whose mind is under control, he will be the real friend of himself. Whose mind is not under control, he is the real enemy for himself. Till now, till now we were feeling, okay, I have got a close friend. He is my close friend. He is my friend. Okay, I know him like that. Some people and all we categorize. Oh, my neighbor is there. No, he's a number one problematic person. So that's why I say that he's my real enemy. And in my factory, there's a person, my colleague, who always instigates problems. He always instigates people against me. That's why I say that he is one of the greatest enemy or biggest enemy or the real enemy in my life. Such type of sentences we keeps on telling either in the family life or in the professional life or in the neighbors or whatever. That's all fine. But according to the Gita, who is the real friend? Myself. For myself, I am the real friend of myself. And who is the real enemy? I am the real enemy for myself. How? As I already told, when my mind is under control, I am the real friend of myself. When my mind is not under control, I am the real enemy of myself. Why? When your mind is under your control, you will be able to go in the desired path, in the right path, in the desired path, and you'll be able to reach the goal. Now I know what I am supposed to do. I know what I am not supposed to do. But still, because my mind is not under my control, I will be going in the opposite direction. I will be going in the path of destruction, or I will be going in the undesired path. Why? I know all that things. I know the fact. I'm doing wrong. I'm doing mistake. But because of weakness, because of lack of willpower, or because of I'm not able to control my mind, I am going in a wrong direction. That's why I am real enemy of myself. My own actions will bind me. My own actions bring bad effects for me. My own actions bring unhappiness, disease, and whatnot. All unwanted things it is going to bring. I know that, but I am helpless. Why? Because I not have a control on my mind. So that is the beauty. So here the author is telling, if the scriptures are telling, and the logic is telling, and the experience, the people who have experienced the truth, even their experience has been confirmed. So it is better to understand and it is better to follow, better to rightly understand and follow. Otherwise, what happens? You may land into the soup or you may get into the ditch. That is what the author is trying to tell in the 99th thing. So it is better to follow the traditions, which is established, which is based on experience and rationality. It is not mere faith. After understanding and after analyzing, if it is rational and logical and it is based on the experience, then only you can accept. You should accept, and that's what we are telling it. So it is better to accept. Otherwise, just for argument's sake or because of just for ego's sake or whatever, if you argue, you are the loser. So this is a word of caution given by the philosopher or given by the author. So afterwards, the author takes one more, the new topic from the 100th verse. So I would like to take that new topic in the next class. I think next week we'll not be having a class because we have got a Deepavali event in the Technology University Dublin. Whoever is free. So all of it is a public event, it is an open event. All of you are welcome to join Deepavali event in Technology University Dublin between 5:30 and 6:45. So a lot of cultural programs will be there. Devotional singing, dance, and a small 1 or 2 small pep talks. It is open, it is very colorful. Vedanta Society and DCF and TUD with the collaboration we are doing. All are welcome. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Swami, yeah. What's the difference between correct pronunciation of ahankara and asmita?
Okay. So what is the difference between ahankara and asmita? Ahankara, yes, ahankara is called ego. Oh, I am so and so. I am that, I am this, I have done this, I have done that, I am something like this. The self-ego, ego portion, and that's called ahankara. Asmita means that is at the cosmic level. The Purusha, the individual self, because of the cosmic ego, or because the cosmic ego which was born from the Trigunas, Gunas in the Sankhya philosophy, it comes. So when the Purusha misidentifies himself with the Prakriti, there this Asmita comes. Because of the Asmita, the Purusha misidentifies himself as a Prakriti, as a part of Prakriti, as a part of body and mind, and he suffers and he has to take the birth and death and etc. So Asmita is also an ego, but it is at cosmic level.
Right. Is ahankara only in the mind?
Yes, of course. Because yes.
And asmita is above the mind.
Yes, yes. It is a part of Prakriti. Mind is also part of Prakriti. Yes.
Question.
Yeah. Welcome.
Last lecture you talked about how the world is
Mithya, yeah.
Mind. How is this the word correctly samit, or it means creation of God? Maybe I can pronounce it wrong, but how is the world a projection of mind? If you have 3 people and they look at an object, it's not a projection of each of their minds, it's objectively there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Like the question is now, someone is perceiving it as a cap. I am perceiving it as a red cap. You are also perceiving it as a red cap, and XYZ, they are also perceiving it as a red cap. If so, that is only projection, mental projection. How it can be the same thing? Why? Because, for example, now I ask the dog, will the dog have the perception and say that it will, cap or red cap?
No.
Why? Why? It cannot see color. That means what? The particular sense organ is not working, or the particular functionality of the mind is not being developed in the dog. So similarly, because all of us, we have got that mind. Though everyone's mind is different, but there are some standard or some similarities between everyone. Every individual being. We are all individual beings. We are all human beings, Homo sapiens by group. So there are some similarities in every one of us. As a result, we are seeing it as a cap. But the way you understand this as a cap, the red cap, and the way I understand it as a red cap, and someone's perceptions can be different, isn't it? Okay, I like this red cap. Someone said, okay, I have to protect my head from the cold, and there's a cap. Which color is fine? And now someone say that I don't like red at all. So I don't know why Swamiji uses always red cap. Everyone is perceiving as a red cap because of the similarity, because of the mind structure or the brain structure, but our reactions, our perceptions towards it is totally different. But we take it for granted that all our perceptions are similar or same.